The Pegasus World Cup Turf Invitational is a Grade 1. It's the 12th race on the Pegasus World Cup card at Gulfstream on Saturday. It's running a mile and an eighth on the turf for 4-year-olds and up. And I'll tell you, this is kind of like, it's like going to Baskin Robbins and ordering vanilla of the 31 flavors. There's a lot of vanilla in this race. It's very difficult to separate the good from the bad here. This is an incredibly well balanced field, and there are tons of ways to go. Now, I have it on good authority that Siege of Boston is likely to scratch. So, if that is in fact the case, and don't hold me to it, but I think so, Fort Washington would draw in. So, we're going to have a full field of 12, likely regardless, even if somebody else scratches, Paros will come in. But the big difficulty in this race for me is the race shape, because you can see we have no early confirmed pace runners in this race. The closest thing would likely be Battle of Normandy, I would say. Now, he's on an impressive streak, and I think he needs to get faster. But, if he does inherit the lead, this type of race with Gulfstream, the turf course being the way it is, he's got an outside chance of stealing it. He definitely needs to get faster, but that's not to say that he can't crank it up for Shug McGahee here, because he's certainly a good horse. I mean, he made the transition from 3 to 4 without any problem, and I think he just seems to be a horse that's getting better. And of the early runners, I like him for that reason primarily. Just to talk about a couple of the others, Formidable Man, I like as a horse. I like a lot as a horse, but I got one problem. Two, really. One, he's only running California. And, again, I hate to belabor it. I love California racing. I really do. And I'm feeling for those people out there right now. But he's never been outside of California, so it's kind of hard to gauge his true class level. The second thing is, he's going against older for the first time. He's run primarily and exclusively against 3-year-olds. And while there's some pretty good 3-year-olds out in California, this is a big step up in class. Could he surprise? Sure. He's a good horse. I mean, 15 to 1. I like him. I like the fact that he's flexible, that he can be up on the pace or he can be off of it. I just wonder, I just have a couple of questions about the class. If you wanted to use him, I wouldn't blame you at all. I think at 15 to 1, he's a really good price, but I kind of just like Battle of Normandy because he's a little more battle tested, let's say. Spirit of St. Louis, you can't get past the fact that he only runs against New York breds. He's made a couple of forays outside of it, and the last time he did it, Keeneland, he looked damn good in the stretch, but it was clear that he just wasn't. He wasn't in Carl Spackla's league, to be sure, but he also wasn't in the league of the better horses who ran right by him, even though he was in prime position and had every chance to win the race. And so that's kind of my thing about Spirit of St. Louis. Now, it is interesting to note that Tyler Gaffleone comes aboard, but it's Chad Brown, and that may be one of those things. Hey, I want rides later, better horses, so I'll take one for the team today. I don't know, but Spirit of St. Louis could very well. He's another one who could certainly get in the money. He is incredibly consistent, but even if he runs this race, I just think there's others better, and that's really what it came down to here. So we're back to we have an uncertain race shape. So really, what do you have? You got to look at the Grade 1 caliber horses in here. And when you do that, it still muddies the waters a little bit, because honestly, Nation's Pride would really be the only confirmed Grade 1 horse, in my opinion. One who's truly Grade 1 and can compete at the highest level. But, and Charlie Appleby, William Buick came in for this race. Obviously, that says a lot. Charlie Appleby's unbelievable when he ships to the U.S. We all know this. But this is one of his horses where, even I had him in the Arlington Million, and even then I wasn't sure he could do it. Uh, and that was a depleted field, and, 6 horses, and he won it, but it wasn't anything that we'd write home about. And that's kind of the thing with him. Now he's coming back from Bahrain, where the last time he ran in that race, it was pretty much the same result. He was up the track, didn't factor in it at all. But when he came back from Bahrain, he ran kind of a so-so fourth. And so there may be, he may need a race. It's not overly certain. And he's just not one I really want to hang my hat on. I mean, Charlie Appleby's sent some horses. Warren Point was one I remember in particular that everybody was all over, and he would just rank and couldn't run a lick. So it's, this may be one of those fields Charlie looks at and goes, I think maybe we can steal a grade one with Nation's Pride. I don't know. Of the group in here, he's probably the most talented. He certainly has the back class. But I'm just not sold on him all the way. And I can't really say that about any horse in here. Now, Major Dude ran a nice Fort Lauderdale, and he had plenty of horse, and it was a nice ride by a rad to get him free in the stretch. And when he did, he blew right by the group there, many of whom are back here. Win for the Money, right off the top of my head, comes to mind. Fort Washington, I think, was in that race. But, Major Dude is now a 5-year-old. His 4-year-old campaign really wasn't much to write home about. And I just don't know that there's much more in the tank that he has. Now, he did look good coming off the bench in that race. That's true. And I think we can use him. But given what he's done in the past, particularly at 4, 4 is that year that you really want to see them sprout and really take a major step forward. And I don't know that Major Dude did that. So I do have to wonder a bit about him as well. 6-1's a pretty good price. And I think he's a fit here. And he has the potential, certainly, to be a grade 1 horse. So we'll throw him in there for that reason. Integration, this is another one. I mean, his horse has got a world of talent, but he's never won a grade 1. And he just is beaten chalk so often, and he just seems to disappoint time and again. Maybe this will be the time he does it. You certainly have to throw him in the mix without a doubt. But can I lock it up and say Integration's going to take this one down? No. And that's pretty much what the story is with this race. In the sequence, you've absolutely got a spread. And hell, I mean, this is one of those races you could almost push the all button, in my opinion. But Integration, I think, certainly one to include. For Washington, I liked his last race. But he's one that's got too much to do late most of the time. He's a good horse for filling out your try and your super, and I think that's the extent of what he'll do here. And I'm throwing him in here because he's on the AE list, and he's coming off a good race. And normally, when that's the case, they're on the AE, you want to have him in your mix somewhere. I don't think he's a threat to win. I don't think he's fast enough, and I don't think he'll run a race that would be fast enough. But keeping him in the mix because he's in good form, that'll do it. So, where does that leave us? I'm settling on Mi Hermano Ramon. Now, for the Cal Santa Anita opening day, I love this horse in the San Gabriel, and he damn near beat Johannes, who's a really nice California turf horse. The reason I settled on Mi Hermano Ramon more than anything else is he's had 3 straight races where his speed figures have increased, his fractions have gotten better. He's a horse who seems to be on the rise. And if I'm looking at this field, what I basically came down to is where's that horse that's ready to take a step forward? And of all these in here, they're pretty identifiable for what they do, but maybe Mi Hermano Ramon is one that's going to take a step forward. And at 8-1, it's a good price. And so I'm taking a shot with him. Am I, really my heart's set on it, locked in, really excited? No. I mean, this is a wide open race. It's going to be who gets the trip. We know this. It's just one of those type of races. The horses that generally I threw out are ones that I don't think they have either they don't have an upside, or we just kind of know what they are, and they always seem to disappoint on the biggest stages. And so that's what it came down to with this race. So we look at our wagering strategy. Now, I'll just say right off the bat, I probably wouldn't go farther than exacta betting here, because, again, this is just a wide open race. But I threw in trifectas for those of you who are bold, who maybe want to give it a shot. I'm going to go with a win bet on Mir Mount and Ramon. We'll key box because, again, the splitting hair nature of this race makes it very tough to differentiate. So we'll go 3 on top with 5, 6, 7. And then we'll go 3, 7, and then 7, 3 with Nation's Pride. I think of the others, he is the most logical, given his back class. So we'll do that with me, Hermano Ramon. And then for the trifecta, if you want to go that way, we'll go 3 on top with 5, 6, 7. And then we do 1, 3 on top of 5, 6, 7 with 10, 13. And then if you really want to get bold, I'd go 3 on top of 5, 6, 7 with all. Because literally, there are just so many ways to go in this race. This has the potential to really upset any sequence that you're in, the pick 5, pick 6, any of them. This is a very tough race. So we are going to just go with me, Hermano Ramon, and hope for the best in what is going to be a really fun race to watch for sure. Hope our analysis helps you with your own wagering strategy, and I wish you the best of luck as always. And of course, if you do like content like this, please like and subscribe. And thanks to all of you who've recently come on board. We've had a nice spike. Very much appreciated. Hope to have you aboard in the future. And as we make our way through the Derby Trail and the rest of the racing season. So that's it from here. Be on the lookout for more content. We will try to get every single stakes race, whether it be an individual posting or just one. We will have one big one with the sequences, best bets, value plays, to encapsulate the big races on Pegasus World Cup Day. So be on the lookout for that. That's it from here. I'll talk to you soon. And until then, be well.